So we're going to look at direct proportion here. So what do we mean by direct proportion? So here it says that y is directly proportional to x. So what that means is when y increases, x increases. Now what we don't know is exactly how they increase. So it could be that when y increases, x doubles. It could be that when y increases, x halves, for example. So what we've first got to do is work out, if you like, that scale factor that tells us by what the relationship is between y and x. So to do that, we start by writing down that y equals some number that we don't know, which we usually use k for, times x. So y equals k times x, but at the moment we don't know what k is, so that's our first job. So then we use the information that we're given on this second line to figure out what k is. So this tells us that y is 144 when x is 12. In other words, we've got 12k equals 144. So to work out what 1k is, we're going to divide both sides by 12. So 144 divided by 12 is 12. So now we know what that k equals. We can say that y equals 12x. So as x goes up, as y goes up, so does x, but it goes up 12 times as much. So the final part of this question asks us to work out what y will be when x equals 7. So we're back now just to a simple substitution here. So y will equal 12 times 7, and 12 sevens are 84. So directly proportional means that as y increases, so does x increase. But we need to work out what the factor is that they increase by. We use that first line of information to work out what that missing k is, that number. Then we can write our equation again like this. And then we can substitute into that to work out our new value of y. Sometimes they might give you a y and ask you to work out an x. Either way, you just solve it as you would a normal equation. So let's do another example. So this time it says that y is directly proportional to the square of x. So our starting point this time is that y equals k, this unknown scale factor, times x squared this time. Okay, so now we're going to look at the information that they've given us here to work out what that k is. So we're told that y is 20 when x is 2. But this time we need to square it. So we've got 20 equals k times 4. So I think you can probably see what the answer is here for k. So we divide both sides by 4 to find that k equals 5. So we'll rewrite our equation here now. So we've got y equals 5x squared. So now we look at the second line here. Find the value of y when x equals 4. So we're going to substitute in. So we've got 5 times 4 squared. So that's 5 times 16. Okay, quick way to do that. 10 times 16 is 160. So 5 times will be half that. So our answer is 80. So that direct proportion. Now we're going to look at inverse proportion. So it looks very similar to the other questions, but at the top it tells us that y is inversely proportional to x. So what difference does that make? What that's telling us now is that as y increases, x decreases or vice versa. So if y decreases, x increases. And so our starting equation is going to look slightly different. We've still got to find that scale factor, but this time our starting equation looks like this. Because as this gets bigger, this gets smaller and vice versa. Okay, so we take the information we're given here and substitute it in. So we've got 12 equals k divided by 6. So this time we're going to multiply both sides by 6 to get k. So k equals 72. Now we know what k is. We're going to put it into our equation. So we've got y equals 72 over x. Then it asks us to find the value of y when x is 8. So we're just going to substitute that in. So y equals 72 divided by 8. And 8 into 72 are 9. We'll do one more example. Here it tells us that z is inversely proportional to the square of w. So let's look at how that's going to look to start with. So we've got z equals k on the top, and this time it's going to be w squared on the bottom. We're going to look at the information we're given in the second line, put that in. So we've got 32 equals k over 4 squared. So that's 32 equals k over 16. So what we've got to do now to get k is multiply by 16. I'm feeling a bit lazy there, so I'm going to bring the calculator in to do that. So 16 times 32 is going to give us 512. Okay, so now we put that into our original equation. So we've got z equals 512 divided by w squared. That's our equation. So now we can find the value of z when w is 2. So z equals 512 divided by 2 squared. So that's 512 divided by 4. Again, I'm going to do that on the calculator in the interest of time. 512 divided by 4 is going to give us 128. So that's how we do direct and inverse proportion questions.